Welcome everyone to Apex Racing TV. It's the British Sim Racers Touring Car Championship presented by Engine Oil Direct. We are live on YouTube and live on iRacing.com from the Lime Rock Park circuit in the United States. My name is Andrew Woodhouse. Joining me is Alex Simpson, the iRacing World Championship driver. Alex, we have 42 cars in a 51-second lap. It should be very, very interesting tonight.
Yeah, it's gonna be crazy close. Looking at the first stage of qualifying, that is just what was it? 1 second did we hear for about 40 cars out there, or 30 cars?
34.
It's just crazy. So it's gonna be epically close. I mean, Lime Rock, simple track, just the one left-hander, all the rest are right-handers. But we all know it so well from the rookie days as well. So it is a little bit challenging in places, so it's not a slam dunk. Everybody's just going to be blistering fast around here, but still, it's a lot of fun, and I think it's quite short. It's going to make overtaking very difficult. Really, only into turn one, I think, is the option. Maybe if people can hold it around the outside turn two, but I think we could see some huge trains tonight.
Main Straight is of quite a good length actually, and will allow passing moves into that very tricky braking area for turn one. Two sections, Alex. Two distinctive sections actually. First is that complex that you mentioned with that one corner, and then it goes. It's like a flat-out blast for the rest of it, isn't it? Once you get up the hill.
Yeah, exactly that. So I think the cars are getting a little bit light going up that hill. We're all so used to that. Fortunately, the front-wheel drive should keep them pretty much in check. I do wonder, I just think back to the rookie days actually, you know, we used to, even with the old MX-5, used to struggle with understeer, so I wonder, as we just see Wojciech getting a little bit wide there at the final turn, pretty common line, but I wonder actually if these Kia Optimas will be even worse than the old MX-5.
Well, you know, the MX-5 is always quite a difficult one to drive. The Kia's about 10 seconds faster around here. It's great at straight line speed, but of course, you know, this car does have a tendency to get quite light in the high speed corners, and you know, the MX-5, you don't notice that quite as much. It's going to be tough. I mean, the margins are quite small as well here, mate. It's very easy to make a mistake. Just like at Summit Point last week, run a little bit wide, you've got grass there, very little runoff area.
Yeah, exactly. It's going to be punishing. Like you say, no runoff at all, just straight onto the grass, so you're going to slip out even wider. We've seen that. We've seen
many people end up well off the track in turn one.
Yeah, exactly. Turn one is a favourite, isn't it? So just you think you've made the corner, and then it just carries on getting tighter and tighter. So I expect we'll see a few people run off wide and whatnot around there. It's going to be tricky.
The other major spot which we're going to see some action, you would think, is that right-hander coming up and over that crest at the hill. There is a wall in very close proximity to the track, isn't there? A tyre barrier.
Well, that was my concern with the Kia pushing a little bit wide, especially if anyone does get a run and they try and force it too wide through there. I think we could see the odd car into that tyre wall as well, just trying to hold it out there and just getting caught out a little bit by that extra push.
So the top 15 drivers from qualifying one are out on the track, and they are trying to improve their lap times. Alex, is anybody going particularly well out there at the moment in Q2?
Yeah, Katz has just actually set a new pole position, or provisional pole position time as well. So not many drivers seem to improve from sort of Q1 to Q2, but Katz certainly has done. So he's got himself up into first place. He'll be happy with that. Svidovic and Sebastian are close as always. But yeah, just looking through the rest of the pack, I mean, everybody is pretty close. So currently we're looking at 51.56 for pole position. If I just go down to 12th place, that's the first lap that's into the 52. So yeah, 12 cars separated by under half a second. So it's crazy close no matter where you look. And in that midfield, oh, it's crazy. 17th place, Steve Walker. He's not in the top shootout, so he was on a 52.217. Now I go down to 25th place. That's Stephen Burke on a 52.298. So less than a tenth of a second
That's one bad corner, isn't it?
Yeah,
Really?
exactly. Yeah,
Difference.
separates, what's that, 17th through to 25th. That's how close it is out there now. I think this race is just going to be, yeah, like I say, it's going to be so difficult for all the drivers. Just really going to be all about who can keep it clean the whole race long, this first one, I think.
It's a 24-lap race. But as you know, as we've said, qualifying is very important here at Lime Rock Park, and you know that half a tenth that you may lose in qualifying that costs you 7 places, that could be the difference between you know, being eligible even for the reverse grid and not by the end of the race.
Yeah, exactly. I think everybody has done qualifying now, so everybody's just strolling back through the grid. Weather. Just having a quick look at the track conditions out there again, so pretty reasonable temperature out there, so we haven't got to worry about the rear tyres coming up to pressure like we saw in the last few rounds.
37 degrees Celsius track temperature at the moment, with quite a strong wind, Alex. Will that affect the gear here?
I don't think it will. I think it'll be okay, to be honest. I think should be no real issues there. But of course, we're not going to see a rolling start. I think that's what I was sort of getting at with the reasonable temperatures rather than cool. We shouldn't see any kind of rolling start.
I've just got a couple of things to say before the start. One is that we've got a 42 car field here. The maximum garage spots of this track is 44, so we've nearly filled all those up. We are hoping to try and get 60 cars for Spa-Francorchamps in the near future, so we'll see about that. And also, Alex, we've got to talk about what's happening from next week onwards again, if anybody missed it last week.
Yeah, of course.
If they were living under a rock somewhere.
Yeah, the big announcement from last week was that from Laguna Seca, this series will be on Motors TV. So the final 19 rounds will be broadcast on Motors TV. So 1 hour highlights packages from middle of August all the way through to December. So it should be awesome.
Yep, all 3 races will be included. So hopefully everyone is gonna get a good gander at themselves on the small screen, which is very, very, very cool indeed. Now then, Alex, it's definitely not going to be cool out on the track. I wouldn't think it's going to get pretty feisty out there. There's not a lot of room to manoeuvre on this track, is there? It's only 2.46 kilometres.
Exactly, it's going to be very, very tricky. All those cars, the first few laps, it's just going to be it's going to be nuts, to be honest. Just we've got the championship table just popped up on screen. Andrew, I wonder if you could run us through the top 10.
I hope I've got the same one as you. Wojciech Savinovic does lead the championship after 42 rounds, I believe. Yes, after 42 rounds, ahead of Andreas Katz, Jamie Rushworth in 3rd, David Baker in 4th, Stelin Chepelevsky in 5th, and then Alex Smolensky, Lee Thompson, Ellis Stevens, Pete Newman, John Roberts are the top 10, and eligible for the shootout as we stand is Savinovic, Katz, Rushworth, Baker, Smolensky, Chepelevsky, Stevens, Newman, Thompson, Roberts, and then the 2 wildcard entries at the moment. That's Sebastian Job with 7 wins, and Simon Field with 3. So the only people really challenged. You're looking at someone like Daniel Hunt, Alex. He's one of the only drivers to win a race. Also, Adecoba Lopez has got 2 wins. Hunt's in 4th on the grid today. He's placed well, isn't he, to try and get that 2nd win and move himself towards the shootout positions?
Yeah, I think so. I think he should have a good shot. It will be interesting. At some point, Sebastian is going to pick himself up into the top 10. He wins too many races. Not to get there, of course, he's missed a few rounds, so that's really why he's out at the moment. So he will get into that top 10, so that'll free up one of the wildcard spots. Of course, he's pretty much got, 7 wins, 8 wins now? So
7 wins for Job. He's only started 92% of the races, compared to, you know, a lot of the others have started all the races possible. Same with Daniel Hunt, only 90% of the races. I think he will be in the shootout as well. No, your instincts would tell you that, Alex, by the end of the season.
Yeah, I think you're right there. I think that we can start to see a bit of a pattern. We're not even reached halfway, mind you, so there's a lot of changes still to happen.
We've got a couple of new drivers as well tonight who we want to just give a quick shout out to. Tom Ward is joining us here, and he's qualified actually 5th on the grid. So an excellent performance from him so far on his debut. And also we've got Chaz Draycott there as well. He's not fared quite as well in qualifying, but 52.969, good enough for 37th. His nose clean, Alex has got a chance to gain a few positions.
Yeah, and that's only 4/10 off of about a 13th place on the grid, so It sounds bad, but actually it's not at all. We're just got the guys forming up. Let's just have a quick look at the grid order, just the top 10 rows.
Yes, so it's Andreas Katz, Sebastian Job on the front row, then Savidovic and Hunt, 3rd and 4th, Ward ahead of Rushworth, 5th and 6th, Baker 7th, Chepelevsky 8th, Human 9th, Kraft 10th, Blakehood 11th, Smolensky 12th, Lee Thompson in 13th, Marco Mogren in 14th, he's another newcomer actually to the series, Rob Plumley in 15th, Steve Hefford 16th and 17th for Steve Walker, 18th Laura Bond, 19th Paul Smith, and 20th is Jay Wright.
That's a pretty tough top 20, you have to say. Oof. This first corner is going to be so interesting.
Yep. Also, if you want an onboard view of this action as well, you can also go and watch Rob Plumley's stream as well. It's always good fun there. It's good entertainment watching him try and come through. So, Alex, who's your money on then as we're a few seconds away from the start?
These first races so tight, but I have to think that Katz has got a good opportunity from pole.
Red lights are on then at Lime Rock Park, Alex.
Green, green, green.
And the green light is on. It was a pretty good start from Andreas Katz off pole position, but Savidovic having a little look on Job into turn 1. Remember, the tyres might not be up to temperature as of yet. Very tricky through this opening section, and there is contact at the back.
Yeah, we've got a couple of cars turned around. Jay Wright's caught in that. Laura Bond, I think, as well. We'll try and take a little look at that back in a bit.
Ellis Stevens as well, power maxed again. If you remember, as Elite Martini, Alex, they crashed into each other, those two, at the it was Smolensky, wasn't it, when he used to drive for the team. Those cars have a history of crashing into each other on this very track. I wonder if it's happened again, as Katz leads for Leo Bond there.
Marco Mogren as well, also suffering some problems there, so he's got turned around. That was coming over the hill as well, so problem there for Marco. Eckhart von Glan as well appears to be heading towards the pits as well, so yeah, maybe 3 or 4 drivers just suffering that first lap issues out there, but for everybody else, we're away and going.
Job having a look at Katz, he's right with him, Alex. He's almost scraping the paint off the bumper of that Leo Bonder car as they go through sector 1, but you can't really pass down towards the hill corner.
Yeah, exactly. No overtaking there whatsoever. Even in the Mazdas, it's pretty close. I mean, Job's literally been on his bumper that entire section of track here, so thought Katz might have a little bit of pace, but Sebastian's looking towards the inside coming into the final corner.
And then he switched to the outside, trying to get a cutback. He's got so much more speed than the reigning champion at the moment. And look at Daniel Hunt now as one of the Laser Tools cars well off the road. I think that's Smolensky in the final corner. Job side by side with Katz, and the reigning champion goes wide and Job takes the lead.
Yeah, Katz perhaps just forced into a little error there, wanted to brake as late as possible, just got it all kinds of wrong. So easy to run wide, and that double right-hander there.
Hunt almost hitting Savidovic. Alex used to work in the mobile phone industry as well. You remember the game Snake? This is what this is going to end up like. The whole field's going to come round, I think, and join together. It's so big. Yeah, into this race.
It's just a massive pack. I mean, just look at them just all funneling through right now. It's going to be so difficult to keep an eye on everything, as we just see Hefford get a little bit of air going over the crest there. He's dropped a little bit back from Rob Plumley. That's basically the end of this first snake. So first through to 14th, so Plumley there. And then you've got another one starting with Hefford, then Walker. You've got Laidler in there, Ben Palmer in there, Robert Fagg, Kaiser. So there's just so many names just tucked in that second pack as well. So there's a little battle going into turn 1 there, just on screen with another one of the Bodner cars.
Ward and Baker battling as well. They were side by side into turn 1. Great pace from Tom Ward early on, Alex, here.
Yeah, we know Tom's very, very quick. Watched him in a couple of leagues, and last one that stands out was the Skip Barber 2K Cup, and I think that's been rebranded slightly now, but he was very quick in that, so looks like he's going to fit quite nicely into this series.
Track so fast and furious as well, it's very hard to keep an eye on it visually. There's not a lot of space between the corners, but look at Andreas Katz. He's having a big run down the main straight, Alex, on as we start lap 5 already. Goodness me.
Yeah, this race is flying by. I thought 24 laps when you said it earlier on. Actually, it's quite a lot for the BSRTC, but that's soon going to tick away.
Katz couldn't quite make the move. He's got lap traffic already, and that's another point that I was going to put to you before the race, Alex, that traffic could come into it here.
I think that is going to be the deciding factor. Just the natural separation of the cars is going to get some sort of 20 seconds, so 50-second odd laps. It's only going to take probably 15 laps or so, and we might see some kind of lap car getting in the way.
Well, we've all been here in a race here and getting lapped on iRacing, and where do you let people pass? It's very, very difficult. As Katz again, and likewise, it's very, very tough to make a passing move. You've got to wait for that mistake. You've got to wait for Sebastian Job to run wide if you are Andreas Katz. And unfortunately for the German, Job's line was perfect that time.
Little battle going on further back as well. Ashley Blakehood, Pete Newman. Blakehood tried to go around the outside, puts himself under a bit more pressure from Smolensky there as well. So just behind them you've got Thompson and Plumley. So these guys definitely having a good battle, but that is definitely a little bit of separation now. Newman has 2.9 seconds up to Dan Cross. So top 9 now have broke away. Pete Newman rounds out the second snake.
Smolensky's got a whole load of damage on that front of that Kia Optima as well, as he's just in front of Lee Thompson in the Apex Racing TV car. We saw this actually, Alex, didn't we, in the VLN round, the last one that we did.
He's got a good run here, Smolensky up the inside of Blakehood. Surely he's going to make this stick. You know that he's late on the brakes, he's always good there. Let's have a look into turn 1.
Blakehood round the outside. Plumley also having a look on Thompson. Plumley's very quick around here as well. And Blakehood still side by side with Alex Smolensky through the one left-hander on the track. This track would have confused Ray Alfalo, wouldn't it? I mean, he's not used to turning right all the time.
Yeah, exactly. So it's just totally the opposite to what he wants.
They're still side by side down towards the hill. Smolensky still won't give up, neither will Blakehood. Smolensky gives him room, but he loses the back end as he comes over the crest. And Blakehood somehow hangs on to that position. That was wonderful driving.
Yeah, great driving there. So it's narrow is Lime Rock Park, so it's not easy to get to Gear Optimus through there flat out. They held that pack up even more. Pete Newman's 1.5 seconds away from those guys now, so crazy. There's battles further back as well. Cars sort of having a little look here, there and everywhere down that back straight.
Off goes Blakehood. Just outbraked himself into the first corner, and he's going to lose about 12, 13, 14, 15 positions.
It's all the way down to 23rd place now after
just
that.
for one little mistake.
This is what I said, if you make a mistake it's going to cost you, and we said at the start of that race, that turn 1, that's a killer. It always has been, even back in the rookie days, and Blakehood just got a little brutal reminder of why it's so severe, and in this series you can't afford to lose 5 or 6 seconds when you've got 20 cars tucked up behind you.
Many a race has been ruined on the free content tracks by going off at Lime Rock Park turn 1. But we've just seen it again there. Daniel Hunt having a little look, Savinovic going a little defensive into turn 1. Lap 9 now of 24 on Apex Racing TV. Andrew Woodhouse and Alex Simpson with you. So, I mean, where's Katz going to get the move done? Because
got an accident further back. Sorry, Andrew. Kaiser caught up with, I think that was Robert Fagg. Let's just take a quick look.
They were together on the track.
On a replay, see what it was. We've got a major cluster going through here. I think that's Colin Cunniff
it's
inside there.
The Laser Tools car that comes. It was Robert Graham, Alex, I think. That I'll have a look at it again from the chopper. Not like Robert Graham just came steaming in there.
3
missed
wide
his braking
turn
point.
1. Let's just take another quick little look at that back. Like you say, let's jump up in the chopper and see what's saying up there. That's if I can find it.
It'll be saying that Robert Graham's brake pedal didn't work very well that time.
Oh yeah, he just steamed on in there and just took to.
He was optimistic, but it was never really going to work, was it?
Poor Kaiser just got the worst of that. Actually, the rest of them didn't suffer too bad, but yeah, Kaiser down to 29th place after all that.
Marco Mogren's been in and fixed the Team Carnage car. He's now 36th and 43 seconds off the lead. So
Baker,
going
Rush,
too well there.
they're ridiculously close right now, and closing back in on them is Daniel Craft as well. They're just
in front of them. Just in
Hunt.
front of them, Ward and Hunt side by side, and Hunt twitching away, coming out of that final corner. Or GT Omega Racing. And Baker, is he going to make it 3 wide? That's not a very David Baker-like thing to do.
Well, when you've got no choice, I think. Oh, he just tagged Hunt. That's something else he doesn't normally do. So
and he's going to go around the outside of him after he's hit him as well.
Wants to get past. Oh, he's going to get run out wide here.
He may still have the inside. Hunt's going to be careful to turn across the volatile element car. We've heard there's the change in ownership of that team, so that will be rebranded apparently for next week.
Yeah, a few teams confirmed there.
Oh, Daniel Hunt. Sorry, Alex. Massively sideways there. He got a wheel on the grass coming over the hill, and that's unsettled him. He went a bit wide in the following corner, and into the final corner now. The understeer he's struggling with. He's just playing havoc with his times.
He's going to lose the place.
Oh no, Chepelevsky! Chepelevsky on the grass, and he's crashed into Baker. Oh my goodness me.
Huge crash.
Baker, Rushworth, Hunt, all involved, and I think Newman was involved as well. Chepelevsky there, tagging.
I mean, it's not our place to judge from the commentary booth, but if you've got to get on the grass to get a move done, perhaps you think, I can't get past.
Yeah.
I have to say, there's only one person that's probably at blame there, and I think the admins are going to take a pretty dim view on that, and I expect Chepelevsky will get a penalty for next race.
And they're still crashing at the top of the hill. One of the Pete Newman media cars, I think it's Daniel Craft, was crashing with, I think, Rushworth. No, it was an Apex car. Severe damage on that Pete Newman media car of Daniel Craft. He's going to have to pit.
He is boxing as well, yeah. There's a few drivers from that incident that have just come off a lot worse than they were.
Rushworth kind of got away with it. He didn't hit anything.
Plumley and Steve Hefford, so Volatile and Leo Bodner out there, and GT Omega of Laidler just sneaks in there and takes that position.
Good play from Rusty Laidler there, just up the inside. Nicely judged on Plumley, who's having a good race, one of his better race ones recently actually. Behind them is Ben Palmer, mate. It's good to see him making a return.
Sorry, Speedovich getting super close here to Katz. Katz has started to lose the ground on Sebastian, and Boychuk knows that it's go time for him. We've got a Hunt coming out in front of our leader as well. He'll get out of the way, I'm sure.
In theory, he should be quick enough now to stay ahead of them because he'll have fresh tyres.
The front pack really separated apart. Pete Newman, he's side by side with Smolenski going into turn 1. Those guys continuing their battle. Lee Thompson some 2.1 seconds back. So that was where the recovering cars come back on, weren't they? Just in front of Lee. They were who they were fighting with at the top of the crest there. So Lee's got Baker just behind him now, and of course Jamie's tucked up behind Baker as well. Walker just behind Jamie, and then we've got Steve Hefford as well. So a bit of a mix-up of the order from what we had a moment ago, but
well, I guess
the snake continues.
The snake does indeed continue, and I'm surprised Baker and Rushworth and Co haven't lost more positions than they actually did.
Yeah, I think it's all because that second pack really, from sort of where Lee was, really lost a lot of time early on in the race.
Fighting, weren't they?
It was all that two-wide battle between Smolenski and Blake Hood, was it?
Yeah, and it slowed everyone down, I guess.
Interestingly, oh yeah, that was right, Blake Hood went wide. I was saying, why is Blake Hood all the way down there? Somebody ran massively wide into the final corner as well. We've got some, this is way back. Where are we looking at right now? They're just trying to see who that was.
Steve Hefford's looking very quick as well, Alex, while you're looking at that. He's all over Steve Walker. Again, Hefford, you get the feeling if he sorted his qualifying out, that he would, he would be up there in the race, because his race pace is usually very good.
Yeah, every week I think, week in, week out, we see him have good, consistent pace, does Hefford. So you're right, he just seems to struggle a little bit in the qualifiers, and I guess he's not in a bad position for the reverse grid at the moment. He won't get pole, 12th place, but yeah, he could still have a reasonable start.
Well, he could potentially be 4th, Alex, depending on where the dice fall for him. What's going on a bit further back? Robert Fagg, Ashley Blake Hood. Oh, in fact, they're side by side into turn 1. And then you've got Gore and Nash for Apex. And you've got Cunniff, newly appointed member of Team Carnage, in there. Colin Cunniff trying to go up the inside. Not enough room there as Richard.
Robert Fagg still side by side. Carnage is being rebranded, I believe, as well, isn't it? For the when we start to go on Motors TV. So
new investment coming in.
Yeah, welcome Friction Racing. We know them well. Very established team.
Oh, hello, Cunniff.
World Championship drivers and all sorts through there, so they're going to be definitely a force to contend with.
Cunniff got a great run over the hill and very nearly made that work.
Lee Berridge suddenly just popped up in the pits. I don't know if he's had some sort of incident a little bit further back.
Look at that. He's in the fence at turn 1.
Rushworth and Laidler. Oh, Rushworth's off again. What's gone on there? Let's take a quick look at that one back, see what happened. Turn 1 again.
It looks like
Jamie's been in the wars.
Looks like Berridge might just be a retirement, Alex. Just might have had enough, I think. Davidovic still can't find a way past Andreas.
Jamie did the rookie mistake. Got in too deep. Just got a wheel onto the gravel on the outside of turn 1. See ya. Happens to the best of them.
It'll take you 5 or 10 seconds to get back on from there. It's just the nature of that grass runoff area out there. And Andreas Katz still defending from Savidovic. He's given up the chance of a win, I think, now. Not really bothered about that, but what he is bothered about is trying to wrestle second place away.
Oh, look at
his main rival
there as well. Just come out of that final corner. He's like, oh, I'm running wide, sod it. Pedal to the metal, let's go.
Let's do it. And he is quicker than Andreas Katz. And he looks a lot better in the high speed stuff, Alex, but not maybe as good in the slower ones.
Yeah, exactly that. Just Colin Cunniff got really close again. I just saw that on my timing screen, so I quickly popped that up. But let's drop back past for this. Carry on looking at this battle for P2. The front guys haven't had too much attention this race. It's supposed to be going off absolutely everywhere on this racetrack.
They'll get off-track incidents for that as well, though, mate. And you've got to worry about that here at Lime Rock, haven't you?
Yeah, I mean, just trying to think. There's some places you can obviously dip a wheel and you're okay, like the exit of the last turn, as long as you don't go crazy wide. Like, yeah, they might have been all right with that one. They should be okay. Sebastian pulled away, and he's actually got obviously Hunt as a bit of a buffer between these guys now. So as long as he doesn't meet any traffic in the wrong place, he should be okay, I think, for the rest of this race. I don't want to curse him any more than that.
No. Wojciech's got a great run there. Great battle going on, Alex, for P16. And that is Stephen Burke ahead of Smith, ahead of Robert Fagg, then Blake Hood, then Nash. All in a bit of a train. And, oh, goodness me, somebody's going right over to the right-hand side there. I think that was Robert Fagg.
It looks like Richard Gore's lost some ground on that pack because he was right on the tail, but he's now got Kaiser right on his tailpipe there as well. So just looks like Kaiser trying to recover from that earlier incident where he got collected.
Catching them is Stefan Hoog, who's in the reverse grid positions as well. Hoog, former championship runner-up, as well as Burke, side by side with Fagg into turn 1. Robert Fagg's trying to go all the way around the outside, and that is just going to be a trip. Well, I thought I was going to say a trip to no man's land, but I just about rescued it. Oh, and Smith disappeared there for a second.
Nash around the outside, he might lose a place here to Robert. No, cuts back in for the right-hander. Robert's trying to get the cut back though. Oh! Thought for a minute he was going to get that.
Going to get quarter panelled into oblivion. But he survives it. Nobody's hit the wall on the hill yet, which is quite good. Which means someone will do it on the next lap.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, and now Katz and Savidovic. Katz has made a mistake, I believe, in the first corner. Again, in the infield, the side-by-side, Savidovic just can't find a way through. Maybe he can now, Alex.
Oh, Katz is squeezing him a little bit.
Big, huge crash between the championship contenders.
Katz off. Did Katz need to defend that? Savidovic's luck just continues. You have to say, he got... Of any car that you thought was going to get put into the wall there, it'd be the one on the inside.
Yeah, yeah.
Katz will be livid, but did he need to push him over there? Did he need to squeeze him? This is what I was talking about you off air with
yes.
a couple of other drivers out there. Do they need to battle it that hard? You know, you've got 3 or 4 laps fight back.
And now
But,
Wojciech is 5 seconds ahead of 4th place. 3 laps to go of this track. He's going to get another podium credit, isn't he? And Katz isn't going to get one.
Yeah, exactly. Tom Ward's closing in, mind you, on Svidovic very, very quickly. I think Tom has got an opportunity for a 2nd place here. Chepelevsky's way too far behind, but is closing up. But in 3 laps' time, it just isn't going to happen.
Tell you what, though, we've talked a lot this season about Sebastian Job in his first season in the series, first real experience of the actual car. But this drive from Tom Ward's pretty spectacular, Alex. Really, if he can potentially get P2 on his debut.
Yeah, absolutely. Katz, I think he's dropping back. Just let his teammate go on. Sorry.
In a race 1 as well, on pure pace.
Exactly that. I mean, he was looking good for I think he was in 4th before the incident. So great turnout for him. As like I said, he's no slouch. He was very, very quick in the Skip Barber series. So I've seen him in other cars as well. Very quick. So, but
neither
like you
have
say,
some of the other drivers who've turned up, and they haven't finished 2nd or 3rd in the first race.
No, very true, very true. You've got an awesome qualifying.
This nearly happened again. Svidovic, why is he doing that? He doesn't need to do that.
Does he not?
This is a guy who's not even anywhere near fighting for the championship. He can finish 3rd, Wojciech. Just let him go.
Yeah, come on, Wojciech. Watch this
back.
Watch this back. You moved over twice. That's a block as well in my mind. So we don't want to see that. You don't need to do that as well. So
he's blocking, and it's a bit daft because he doesn't necessarily need the points at this stage. 3rd place will do. 3rd place will get him some of those extra points for the showdown. Ward's going for it, and this could be the incident that we said is going to happen. As Svidovic not giving up, and I just don't understand the attitude there.
That is a great move from Ward there. He absolutely nailed that overtake there. So we don't see many drivers give Wojciech a bit of hard time, but he threw that in there and said, well, if you want to try and hold it out round the outside, then be my guest. And, awesome.
I mean, I tried to do it once and ended up on my roof. So, you know, who cares? Sebastian Job's going to come through and he's going to win the race, Alex.
Yeah, it's the last lap. Where did that happen? Great drive from Seb. He just managed to pull away at the start and just hasn't looked back. So Tom Ward is going to come through in 2nd place. Svidovic is still there, but he's not going to get the run on him. What a great drive from Tom Ward. Definitely my driver of the race. Awesome.
And Smolensky got 4th off Chepelevsky on the final lap.
Oh, wow.
So
let's see if we can just see where he got past him, because we missed
Tools. I'd wait a second because there's some more battles coming across as well. Laidler just ahead of Rushworth.
Too late. I'm already back, but I can.
All sorts going on still.
Oh, he's already passed going into turn 1, I think. So let's just let's pick
Look
it back to the live.
Oh, they're crashing after the finish line. Oh, I think someone had run out of fuel and then somebody crashed into them. And oh dear me. Did you see that train that came over there from Burke backwards? Burke, Smith, Blakehood, Gore, Kaiser, Hoog, Fag, Cunniff, Nash and Field.
Let's get a little replay
3 seconds of each other coming across the line.
Yeah, just watching them come across the line now. But
somebody crashed into the wall as well.
Oh man, yeah, look at that, awesome. That's what you want from a race as well. This is why this series stands out. But above the rest, really. I mean, I don't see anywhere. Oh wow, into the into the wall. You don't
I'm not
see.
Sure who that was. I think it was.
You don't see many
actually.
Series, do you, like that, where you can? I mean, this is after
Not
24
racing,
laps.
mate.
There's 8 or 9 cars, you know, still fighting for like 20th place out there. Like it's, it's for a victory.
Like it's for the championship.
They're only like 30 seconds behind the leaders as well. I mean, take away 15 seconds for the actual natural course of the train. I mean, 15 seconds. They haven't lost a great deal of time with all that, battling that's going on there. It's just, just epic. We thought that would be a great race. It turned out to be just that.
As Paul Smith does what a true Yorkshireman does and hits the cone on the way into pit road. What an absolutely brilliant race that was. I mean, that had absolutely everything, but you have to say the talking point, the controversy there. Katz and Svidovic crashing into each other when really it was in neither of their best interest to do so. Svidovic lost 1 place by it. Katz lost, well, he finished 14th. 'th.
Yeah, I. I'm not sure what to say, if I'm honest.
And Katz is he's angry with Savidovic, but I think.
Yeah. But Savidovic was alongside.
Should we go back and have
yeah,
another look?
let's go and have a little look. Let's go
break it down properly.
Let's go and see what's happened, and then we'll roll the dice and everything else like that. Right. Let's see if I can.
I think this is a big enough incident, definitely, to warrant a couple of looks at this.
So what lap was it?
Vidovic had the little run, but
lap 13? No, it was way past that, wasn't it?
Lap 20, but for some reason now my replay isn't spooling lap 20.
Let's see if we can get this up. Get the results just off the screen right now. We'll bring them back up just before the reverse grid. Take a quick look at this.
Even though I saw it perfectly at the time, it's now. I can't see it now.
Actually, I'm going to jump up in the chopper now as well, just to sort of see. Let's hope.
Oh no! Here we go.
See if this is the right lap that it was. Yes, Savidovic got the undercut. I'll be honest. I'm sorry, Katz has got no reason to complain to Wojciech there. He didn't give him enough room. He drove him off the track.
Have a look.
Wojciech's up the inside.
Vidovic doing the cut back.
You've got to leave the room on the track. You can't force them on.
Isn't he?
You can't force them onto the grass.
As Martin Brundle says it perfectly all the time. He can't just vanish.
Yep.
You know, he can't just because you know what this Kia is like, Alex. If you get on the grass, you can crash anyway.
Yeah.
So you don't want to go. You know, some cars may be able to make the move by going across the grass, but with the Kia, it's quite difficult. And yeah, I think Katz has got to leave some room. Got to leave room on this occasion. And you know, Savidovic was a bit naughty afterwards with Ward, which it did look like a block, but. Yeah, I think Katz just needs to have a look at that and really. What do you think? If it was you, would you fight that position? If you were Katz, would you fight that hard about it?
I wouldn't have drove him off the track.
No, if he's alongside and he's on the track,
still got every opportunity to go around the outside of the uphill left-hander. You're going to carry the momentum then into the next right-hander. I mean, yes. Savidovic is good enough to be able to hang it in and tight and take the advantage in that inside line, but you got to leave room. Yes, you got to defend hard and you got to race hard, but you can't drive someone off the track. Yeah, and you would think actually that Savidovic should have probably come off worse there, but in the end, I think.
It might have been a bit of justice there, though, as well, if you think about it.
Well, that's literally what I was about to say. I don't like to sort of say stuff like that. We are already the commentators, the league admins that need to make those calls. But if you're going to squeeze someone like that, then you got to expect the consequence, the karma back. And it was an instant repayment on the karma there, I'm afraid.
Because we don't normally criticise the driving of Andreas Katz. I mean, he's a reigning champion. He's very good and very clean. Misjudgment, but I mean, we've all done it, but not always fighting for championships, are we? I mean, you have done in the past, but it's the sort of thing where you'd rather take the podium than take 14th place. I don't know, but perversely, it will mean that he gets a massive advantage over Savidovic for the next race. Yeah,
in hindsight, it's going to work. But I mean, Savidovic is good enough to come through the pack always. You see the top guys. I think this week might
generally be better at it as well.
Yeah, I think this week might be a little bit harder than the rest. But just having a quick look at Wojciech here. So definitely two moves on Tom Ward there. Let's take another little look back.
I know they say you can come back to the racing line, but you can only really partially come across, can't you? You can't come all the way back across the track again.
To be clear, there's no rules that say that you can't do that in this series. There's nothing in black and white that says it's only one move. But yeah, he definitely moves to the right, and then moves to the right even more when Tom tries to get up the inside, and then moves back to the left as soon as Tom starts going to the left. In the end, it's of no matter, because Tom's car's that much better that he just gets to run into the main straight and pulls off that epic overtake, which I'm glad we saw that instead.
Ward with a brilliant move. I mean, he was the star of the show, I think, for me. Zelensky did get Chepelevsky, like we said. No, for me, Alex, that's just a gentleman's agreement in the world of racing, though, that you only move one.
Yeah, absolutely.
Isn't it? And that's the reason. It's not because it's illegal. We've got to get that straight. There's nothing that Wojciech Swiderowicz did there that was illegal in terms of the rules of this meeting. But it's something that he maybe needs to just have a think about. Have a look, see what our other new boys got on as well.
What was the other incident that happened that took out about 3 or 4 of the lead cars as well?
We do need to check that as well, I think.
Let's take a quick look at that. We're doing the things. I'm sure the league admins are shouting at us to do the dice, but we're going to have a look at that because pretty important instance there. So Jamie was took out.
Yeah, we've got to put that on Rob Graham, haven't we? Really. I don't think there's any other way of doing it, to be fair.
Well, no, I was on about the one with like Dave Baker, Jamie.
Yeah, that was the one.
Was that Rob Graham? Was Rob in that one?
I believe that was the one. Yes.
Let's have a little look. I've just jumped back. So it looks like they're all in and around. This is lap 16. I think they're about to go on to.
Oh, maybe it wasn't Rob. Then.
No, that one was with Kaiser, wasn't it? I think so.
What was it then? It was a Laser Tools car.
No, I tell you what it was. You're right, it was a Laser Tools car. No, it wasn't. That's Jamie just running wide there. So Jamie just lost that place there. So it was before that.
Which lap were we talking? Sorry, mate.
Just trying to find it. Is it lap 11? With Dave Baker in and around, who got taken out in that as well, and Dan Hunt. Who else was in there? Yeah, so Baker's just put the move on Hunt going into the final corner, but then has to check back out of it a little bit. Rushworth got a good run on Baker. Baker covers the inside. You've got Stellian, that's it. Chepalewski onto the grass up the inside, and still there's like 3 cars going into turn 1.
Oh, sorry, the other one.
Yeah, lap 11.
The other one, sorry. There was 2 incidents though, wasn't there?
Yeah, and they are literally all on the white line going into turn 1. I mean, how they ever thought they were going to come out of that, I really don't know.
That's one of the biggest crashes in quote-unquote open play that we've seen in a while,
just on board with Stellian here.
You don't see pile-ups like that much after the start of the race.
Yeah. Unfortunately, just looking at the onboard from Stellian, who got away with it the best. It's like he just took out 5 cars and just
and thank you very much.
Just cruises on. That's it. It's like
ends up P5 twiddling his mustache.
Yeah, that's perfect. Well done. And then
the plan was executed perfectly.
But yeah, it just looks like he missed his braking point going into there. So not only was he super tight, but he did that, and then of course one of the Pete Media cars on the outside that got collected in as well. But yeah, not great.
I did want to find that other crash because there was definitely another crash.
That was quite a lot further.
Oh wait a minute, hold on. Here we go. Yeah, lap 9, Alex. Start of lap 9.
That's easier said than done. Who was involved in it?
Graham, Kaiser, Burke, Armour, I think, as well.
Okay, yeah, just having a little look.
This is a doozy, this one. Into turn 1. Absolutely everything's going on.
Seems like Tim's getting anxious for us to roll the dice already.
We'll be alright. We can get on. We can just do this one.
Yeah, just up on looking back here, yeah, so like you say, yeah, Graham just comes in from way back there. That's not too bad, it only really took poor Kaiser out there.
Actually, one car, wasn't it? It looked like it was worse at the time, I think. Right,
let's run us through the top order and who's eligible for the reverse grid.
Yes, indeed. Robert Plumley, 15th. Steve Burke, 16th, 17th Paul Smith, 18th Ashley Blake Hood, 19th Richard Gore, 20th Ron Kaiser, 21st Stefan Hoog, 22nd Robert Fagg, 23rd Colin Cunniff, 24th James Nash, 5th Simon Field, and 26th John Roberts.
Right,
this is the time when John Roberts ends up on pole again, I think, isn't it?
Yeah. Right, we'll rush these through quickly. 19th, followed by 23rd. And then 20th is the dummy rolls, but pole position for the second round is going to go to 25th, almost a full one.
Simon Field. Again, I think. Didn't he get one last week?
Might have got one last week. Didn't he get the last race, was it?
I think he got another. He got.
Or was it
He did
second
get
race?
a reverse grid pole last week, I think, and he did win a race, I believe. So.
Where's the stat man when we need him?
Well, that's it. He's I was going to say sunning himself, but he's gone to Scotland, so potentially not. Sorry, Scottish people. But
The hate will come down.
it's lovely up there. No, it's lovely up there. It's gorgeous. So that was epic, wasn't it?
Yeah, what a great first race. I can't say anything more than that. So more of the same, please. For this one, will be awesome.
Keep it clean, keep it fast, and keep it here on Apex Racing TV. We'll see you in a few minutes.